Hi there guys and welcome to yet another Jonesy's question time. Sorry, it's been 2 weeks since I did the last one, but yeah, last week I was kind of busy over the weekend and I was prepping for a few late nights with E3 and everything. So yeah, I decided to leave it a week and kind of collate all the questions together into to one special bumper episode this time round. Really, we've got 9 questions. I'm actually going to do it a bit more fast paced than usual. You know, usually it can be about 20 minutes for 5 questions, so I'm going to try and sort of keep it around 20 minutes for all these 9 questions. And we've also got a question from such a special person. I couldn't quite believe that I got a question sent in from this particular person, but I'll get onto that in a minute. So let's start off with a question from my good friend Lee, aka Future Law from the YouTubes. He asked me, oh crap, I've lost this question already. Hang on, where's it gone? Hold with me 1 second. He asked me, if you woke up one morning, walked downstairs and found a note from your family and friends saying, "Don't worry, we're all safe and sound, but we've all decided to take a day trip away from Earth along with everyone else in the world. Have fun. What would be 10 things you would do that day?" He always comes up trumps, does Lee, with these questions. So I think first and foremost, I would have to run naked up and down my street, singing "I Want to Break Free." I think that's an obvious choice. I think everyone would probably do that. I would then take a trip into Leeds, or just to a local estate agents, and like sell myself a house. You know, I'd obviously learn all the legal mumbo jumbo so I could actually get away with it and not actually have to pay anything for it as well. I would then take a trip to Forbidden Planet, and I would have to, you know, kind of basically I've decided the majority of the things I'm going to do are pretty illegal, and to be fair, I would probably get found out because people would know I'm the only person left on Earth. So, but anyway, we'll find a way around that. Yeah, I would have to go to Forbidden Planet and raid their stocks of pop vinyls, of course. I would then have to go on to Ellen Road and score a goal on the Ellen Road pitch. That'd be fantastic. I would then drive over to Manchester, and I would have to take a massive poop on the centre spot at Old Trafford. I think that'd be pretty good. But I'd kind of just hide it under the turf so no one would ever know about it. That'd be quite fun actually. So that would be that. I would then decide to fly a plane from Manchester Airport. You know, I have no experience in it, but well, I know. I mean, I'm pretty good at flying on GTA, so I think I'd be all right with that. So I'd fly a plane. I would then decide to take a trip over to China and to Yulin. I think, is it Yulin? Basically where they have that disgusting, horrible dog festival, dog and cat meat festival thing. I would go over there and free all the cats and dogs that are over there. I'm well aware that I'd probably be a bit strapped for time doing all this, but I think I'll be able to get it done all in 24 hours. So yeah, fly a plane over there and do that. I would then come back, but I would land in London, where I would take a trip to 10 Downing Street and you know, steal a little bit of money from Mr. Cameron, seeing as though he's liking to take so much off everyone else in Britain at the moment. You know, kind of take it back for the people. And also, whilst I was down there, I would decide to write it into law that the fox hunting ban could never be reversed. Oh yeah, and whilst I was doing this, everywhere I was going, I'd also put posters up, kind of advertising my YouTube channel and the Bartat channel, just so you know, it kind of gets us over there, you know, around the world, and people know who we are. And I think that's 10 things. Let me have, yeah, that is definitely 10 things. So that's what I would do, Lee, in my day alone on the Earth. I've just decided how kind of boring that might be, but I think I've done all right there. I think I've done what every other person would probably choose to do, really. So thanks very much, Lee, for that. Daniel asked me, who is my favourite snooker player? My favourite snooker player is actually Mark Allen, the Northern Irishman. He's been my favourite player for a couple of years now, and I don't really even know what kind of attracted me to him as my favourite player. I think because he was, well, I liked his playing style for a start. He's a very fast fast kind of snooker player. You know, he definitely doesn't mess about with it. He's a fantastic break builder when he you know, does get going. You know, he's really good to watch when he's really on his game, and because he's just such a nice genuine guy as well. You know, he's never afraid to speak his mind about people and about the game and the sport and everything. You will have seen in my diary when I went to the Masters earlier this year that I managed to meet him and have a photo taken with him, and literally he was stopping for everyone. You know, he had a game to prepare for, but he was stopping for every single person who wanted an autograph or a picture with him, and he was just so nice and friendly, and he's just a really top guy. But yeah, he's my favourite snooker player, Daniel. Let's move on to the big one. So basically, the other day I got followed by the Emma Blackery Update account, or is it called Blackery Update, I think? And I actually thought it was just a fan Twitter page, and it turned out it was actually the Twitter page for Emma Blackery. Where last year, for those of you who don't know, she shaved all her hair off for charity, and I raised, I can't remember how, was it about £50,000 I think for charity, and basically I donated a certain amount, and I got a certain reward for it. I won't go into proper details, but part of that reward was her being followed by this Twitter account basically. So it's just kind of a unique group of people, so I think it's about 600 people. And to be honest, I completely forgotten about that part of the reward, and the other day I got followed by it, and you know, that was a major big deal for me to begin with. And then all of a sudden I saw that she'd actually left a question for Jonesy's Question Time, and she'd actually watched my last Question Time video, which is absolutely amazing. You know, a YouTuber who I've been such a massive fan of for such a long time now. You know, I've taken a lot of inspiration from her. She's someone I look up to. You know, a YouTuber who's nearly at 1 million subscribers, and she's left a question for this Question Time video. So anyway, she asked me, you said in your last Question Time that you have hay fever, which I'm still struggling with today. Are you allergic to anything else? I think I'm allergic to mushrooms, because that brings me out in sickness and extreme retching. I'm also allergic to sort of rude, obnoxious, arrogant people, because that always tends to bring me out in terrible bouts of anger. And I think exercise, because that always makes me incredibly sleepy. No, in all seriousness, I actually don't have any more allergies, and until about 3-4 years ago, I didn't even suffer with hay fever. I'd never, you know, experienced it before, and it's because hay fever literally is one of those things that, you know, one minute you have it, the next minute you don't, the next minute you do have it. It just it's a very strange thing, hay fever, and it's a right pain as well. Some days when other people are suffering badly with it, you'll be, you know, fairly okay, and then other days, like I think it was yesterday or the day before, I was kind of constantly streaming tears from my eyes, the back of my, well, constant sneezing, of course, an itchy nose, and I always get it as well. A lot of other people say they don't get it, but I always get really bad kind of itching at the back of my throat with it, which is actually the worst part of it. It's so annoying, and it's really terrible. It really is. And the thing is, I don't have it as bad as quite a lot of people, so God knows how those poor souls get on with it. But yeah, as far as I'm aware, I'm not actually allergic to anything else. You know, like big allergies, people, you know, have nut allergies and everything. I mean, I don't like nuts, but I'm certainly not allergic to them. You know, other kind of thing. No, as far as I'm aware, I'm not allergic to anything else. I might find out one day that I am allergic to something else. I don't know, but yeah, thank you so much, Emma. I don't even know if you'll be watching this, but if you are, thank you so much for giving me a very big fanboy moment the other night, and thank you so much for actually watching the video and sending the question in. It means so much to me. It really, really does. So thank you for that. So that's that one done. Oliver Arundel said, "Hi Jonesy, if you were able to create your own video game, what would the story be and what would you call it?" And this is actually something that me and Lee were discussing, it's quite a while ago now, actually, maybe last month or the previous month. and it's an idea that I'd always had, and it turned out it's an idea that he'd always had as well. And we kind of came together and came up with this thing of, you know, there's so many, you know, superhero games out there, but based on, you know, already original ones, you know, your Batman, Superman, Spider-Man's, all that kind of thing. And there are also games where you, you know, are kind of a superhuman character. So in games like, you know, Infamous, you can gain these powers and kind of, you know, level up on them and make them greater and everything. But there's no sort of, no original open world like superhero game or superhuman game. And we came, well, together, and we'd already had this thought, you know, separately, you know, to start off in this completely massive open world game, where at the very start you choose what route you want to go down. So like what trait you want to have. So whether it be flying, you know, superhuman strength, speed, you know, extremely fast, invisibility, you know, all sorts of different things. And you could sort of, you know, each ability would have little branches where you could branch off and you know, work on that, and you would build it up as you go along. But depending on what you choose, kind of also limits you to what else you could do. So say if, you know, you chose flying, it means you could go to further places in this open world than if you had superhuman strength. But if you were flying, then you wouldn't have as much strength and everything. And I just think it's such a good idea, and why it's not been done before. And also making it like a multiplayer, you know, or online multiplayer thing. So very similar to the, you know, GTA online thing, but making it a superhuman thing. I just think it would be so great. And I think I'd literally just call it Superhuman. Like, not even superhero, I'd call it like Superhuman. You know, you could have a single player thing where obviously, you know, there is a storyline to it, and you have to go around the world saving certain things and certain people and that. And just have little side missions and quests, but it'd be so good to do, you know, in the same style, you know. It'd be something that I think Rockstar would do very well. But yeah, that's what I want to do, Oliver. I think that'd be really, really great. So thank you very much for that question there. What else have we got? Let's do another sports one. Steve asked me, who do you think is currently the best football manager in the world? For me, I mean, I know a lot of people have a lot of thoughts on this guy. You know, he's kind of a Marmite kind of character. I personally love him, and it's Jose Mourinho. He's just, for me, he is, at the moment, he's got to be the best manager. I mean, you look at everything he's won. I mean, with Porto, he won the league twice. He also won the Champions League and UEFA Cup with them. He's won the Premier League 3 times with Chelsea, the FA Cup, the League Cup 3 times, Community Shield. Inter Milan, he's won Serie A twice, won the Champions League with them. Real Madrid, won La Liga, Copa del Rey. He's won so many individual prizes like Coach of the Year and everything. And he really is just, for me, he is great. A lot of people slag him off for, you know, his kind of tactical style and his play style, and, you know, it can often be very defensive. But on, you know, the flip side, you look at that Chelsea team where he first took over in his first spell in charge. You know, they were such a top quality team and played such amazing attacking football. I mean, they still do, but especially in that first spell in charge, he got them playing some wonderful stuff. And he made me kind of admire them. You know, as a Leeds fan, a lot of Leeds fans hopefully have this hate for Chelsea, but for me it's something I've never had. I think mainly down to that kind of first Mourinho era. I've always had a lot of respect for him and that Chelsea team. So yes, Steve, that's who I would choose. Definitely for me, it's got to be Jose Mourinho. What else have we got? Let's go back to my good friend James Broxup from all the way in South Korea. He asked me, it's kind of a 3-in-1 question here. He says, are you a fan of K-pop? It's obviously Korean pop. To be honest, James, I'm not. It's not something I've listened to a lot. But what I have listened to, it's just not my thing really. It's very in your face, isn't it? There's always a lot going on with Korean pop, and just Korean culture in general. I think it's very, not necessarily always in a bad way, but it is very out there and very in your face. And yeah, K-pop for me doesn't really do it, to be honest. I've got to be honest there. What else did he ask? Do you like any Korean food? Again, not really. I know that there's a lot of sort of like soup involved in Korean dishes, and there's a lot of like based on rice and meats and vegetable and everything. But to be honest, I've not really tried enough. I don't think really I've tried anything, if at all, at any point, James. Really, but tell me what is good and what isn't good. I think, to be honest, I think there's always this thing of when people think of Korean and food, they always go straight to the whole, cats and dogs kind of thing, which does kind of put people off. But I think there's clearly a lot more to Korean food and culture than that side of things. But yeah, I've not really had anything, James, so I can't really comment on it that much. And he also says, what do you think on the gaming culture in Korea, and do you like it? Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely massive over there, video gaming. It really is. I mean, they have the whole the PC bangs, are they called, I think, where basically it's sort of like gaming centres where you can go play multiplayer games and online and everything, and you pay a certain rate per hour. You don't really get many of those kind of things over here in England, especially. I remember there was actually one near me when I was in high school, but it was a very small place. Like, I think it's called Land City, but it only lasted for about 2 years and then it closed down. But I do not like sort of the flip side to it, as great you are with gaming over there, and you like it, your competitive gaming and everything. There's also the flip side to it where I think a lot of you get very addicted to it, so much so that I swear I read somewhere about, is it that if you're under 18 you can't play online or something between certain hours, to stop people getting addicted. Because I mean, there has been news stories of where you've seen people have died after playing a certain game for like 72 hours straight or something, and they've ended up like having heart attacks or something, which is just crazy when you think about it. So you're obviously very passionate about gaming over there, but maybe it goes a little bit too far sometimes. But it really is very interesting to see all the major events that you have, League of Legends, stuff like that. It's fascinating to watch, it really is. So yeah, thanks very much, James, for that question there. Moving on, Sam Judd asked me, would you rather cry custard or fart bubbles? I think I would have to cry custard, because I mean, every time you cry you'd actually have a tasty treat from it, so you'd just be constantly kind of recycling it, wouldn't you, I suppose? Although I think if you were crying custard, it would hurt. Yeah, there would be a certain pain element, because I mean, custard is a lot thicker than tears, so I don't know how that would work coming out, and it would get stuck in your, oh yeah, it'd sting your eyes as well. And farting bubbles isn't really that, well, I suppose it'd be that thing of everyone would know when you farted, but if you farted, would the bubbles come through your clothes or not? I'm not sure. This is a very intense question you've asked here, Sam. You've caught me off guard, but I think looking at it, I would probably choose the custard thing, 'cause I do like custard. It depends if it would hurt too much, but yeah, I wouldn't mind tasting custard every time I cried. So yeah, thank you very much for that, Sam. Where are we now? Yorkshire Vlogger asked me, where do you see yourself in 10 years' time? I think I've already answered the question of where do I see myself in 5 years' time. In 10 years' time, if I don't see myself doing this full time, which would be disappointing, then I'm not sure really. I mean, obviously I'd like to be, by that time, I'd be nearly 35 years old, for Christ's sake. So I would hopefully see myself happy and settled down in a nice house somewhere, hopefully with some kind of family. Career wise, like I say, if I wasn't doing this, I definitely wouldn't see myself in the job that I am now. I'd love to see myself still doing something creative, so maybe working in the kind of film business, or I don't know, maybe something in the game, just in some kind of creative career. I'd love to carry that on if I wasn't doing this full time. So yeah, thank you very much, Yorkshire Vlogger. That's where I would see myself. I've written so much down here. I think I've lost track. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, Steve, who already answered the question, but he asked me, how did you first meet Lee and Charlie? Well, I first met Lee when I started my job last January. So you know, over a year now. Yeah, he was basically already working at the place that I work now. And we quickly found out over the next sort of few months how alike we were. You know, we shared so many interests. You know, we watched a lot of the same stuff. We had the whole gaming aspect of things. You know, we liked a lot of the same music, same food, and everything. It was pretty crazy actually. We started thinking that we were maybe, you know, long lost brothers or something. And he kept mentioning this Jesus character called Charlie, one of his best mates. And that they had this gaming night thing they did, and that, you know, I should join up one time, and then pretty much exactly a year ago, actually a year ago next Sunday, Lee said, "Oh, I'm meeting Charlie for some drinks tonight. You know, do you want to come out?" So I went, "Yeah, sure." So yeah, it was about a year ago. I met Charlie. We went out for a night in Yeadon and Guiseley. It was a very drunken night. We had some very interesting videos from that night, but we literally just hit it off from the very word go. I mean, literally, I think I've been sat down 15 seconds with Charlie, and we're already talking about YouTube and Yogscast and favourite YouTubers and everything. And it was just literally just one of those moments where you just hit it off from someone, and you know, the three of us really do just work well together. You know, we do share the same interests. You know, we have a lot of differences, which again works well. If we all liked the same things and had the exact same opinions, I don't think it would work as well. You know, the fact that we do disagree on certain things, you know, makes it a kind of a tighter kind of relationship between the three of us. But yeah, it was kind of all through me working where I do and meeting Lee, you know, that led me to meet Charlie, and yeah, the whole bar tat thing sort of came about. But yeah, we're actually going to talk about that more properly on one of the bar chats, the whole meeting up process and everything. So yeah, that's how we met up, Steve. So I think I've answered all the questions there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 9 questions in just over 20 minutes, so I've not done too bad there. So yeah, that's been a fantastic one, guys. So I'm completely fresh out of questions now. So I want you to start up again and send in all the questions that you want for me. So again, try and keep a nice. I know there wasn't. I actually misjudged. I thought I had more sporting questions than I did, but it turned out I only had 2. So that was a bit awkward. But yeah, from now on, just again, please try and keep it varied. So I'd like a nice mixture of sporting questions, a nice mixture of, you know, crazy questions that you've had there. I mean, fart bubbles or crying custard. Those are the kind of questions that I do actually like. So, you know, keep it varied from there. You've got a good kind of template there to get a good idea. So you can leave your questions either below in the comment section or at my Twitter at ChrisJonesLUSC. I want to thank everyone so far who has sent in the questions. Big thank you as well to Emma Blackrit. Again, thank you so much. That was amazing. Like I said, I don't know if you've been watching or not, but thank you all the same. So yeah, that's it for this week, guys. I will be keeping it every week from now on, like I said, unless anything major happens. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. If it's your first time watching, please do like and leave a subscribe. No, I've done that the wrong way around. Leave a like and subscribe. That'd be very much appreciated. And until next time, guys, I'll see you all very soon.